your catalyst for development.
Welcome to UFALME WETU. As we have already said, our mission is to offer quick solutions to the community through offering financial inclusion services that include financial literacy training, peer banking, and microcredit services. As I said earlier, PIC in our mission stands for Practical Entrepreneurship Assimilation Knowledge. So let's get to that PIC together. Karibu.
UFALME WETU, UFALME WETU, UFALME WETU, your catalyst for development.
We talked about our first foundation, which was redistributing the resources across the pyramid instead of upwards. In today's episode, we will talk about the second foundation, which is seeking alternative skills, not papers. From the beginning of time, your time, from the moment you were born, you were told to do several things. One was to go to school. And when you went to school, you were told to pass your exams. And after you passed your exams, you were told to look for a job. And after you looked for a job, you are told to work until you retire. People in jobs are not also comfortable because they want to look for higher opportunities. And what do? They go to more schools. They acquire more papers so that they can get higher positions and probably better pays. But that time is long gone. That time is long past. That kind of thinking has become irrelevant in the present economic situations, in the present times as Kenyans and also around the world. So what are we saying then? Seek alternative skills, not just papers. What are these skills that will help you as a person to better your life without necessarily thinking that you need that college certificate, that college diploma, or that university degree? What are these skills that will help you? Not that you don't necessarily have to do a master's degree or get a PhD. You know, someone said, it was actually a lecturer, that after studying, you go to university, you get your papers, it becomes very hard to get a job. But one of the easiest jobs to get with your degree is to become a teacher at the university where you studied. So you've studied all your courses that you've done, and when you go to the job market with your geology or environmental degree, you don't get a job, but you go and apply for a job to be a teacher, and you get it. So you start teaching other students for that course that you studied, knowing too well that out there are no jobs. So what does that make education? Isn't it some sort of a pyramid scheme that you come pay, but you know you don't get a job, but we still produce your kind? Anyway, it is time now we started thinking about alternative skills that will not only help you, but even the future generation to be able to shorten this gap between the haves and the have-nots, to be able to put food on our table, to be able to improve our living standards. And what skills are we talking about? One, you have to be adaptable and flexible. Not just in saying, but in reality. We're living in what we call now the global village. The world has become so much connected that if you're living in Kenya, you know simultaneously what is happening miles across the globe, in America, in Australia, South Africa, wherever that it is. This kind of connectivity has brought so many opportunities, such that you could be working in the USA or in Australia, in another part of the globe, yet you're based in your bedroom somewhere in Kenya. Doesn't have to be in town. Just have to be somewhere where there is internet connection and you have a device like a laptop or even a phone. So how do you become adaptable to the current changes? One, you have to keep on getting information on what is happening currently, the opportunities that are there. And that means that you have to stop just reading the textbooks that they give us in school and start reading the journals, the magazines, and the news that the world produces that gives us this kind of information. Second being that skill that we have to get is digital literacy skills. Digital literacy. The fastest emerging industry in the current period is the digital space. In the digital space where we have content creation, where people create videos like this, not just for entertainment, but also for information, we find that there are so many opportunities, so many opportunities, that there are young kids who start things in the garages of their fathers, and within no time they have their own money, they're making their own investments, and they're doing so many other things at the same time. So why not you? Why not start learning a digital skill that will help you in future? Yes, it's good to go on with your course on being a teacher, on being an architect, on being a doctor, whatever it is. But what other skill can you add to that, such that you can also present your information like I am presenting mine right now and make an income out of it? Next alternative skill is networking and relationship building. We've been told so many times that we live in a world of not what you know, but who you know that will help you. And the people who might be using that kind of information might be looking at it from a corrupt point of view, that to get a deal you must know someone. But in this instance, I want us to look at it from another perspective. That to get a skill, to know what people know, to do what people are doing to make money, then you need to find a way to connect with them or to them. And that is the kind of networking that I'm talking about. Relationship building. Most people are only interested with getting satisfied for the day. Most people are only interested with getting fish for the day, not making a fish pond where they can fish every day. And that's what we refer to as relationship building. The people you meet, the people you interact with, the people who are doing better than you, the people who are in spaces that you'd like to be in, the people who are dining at the tables you'd like to be dining at. Those are the people that you should not be looking at to network with, to build relationship with, and that is an alternative skill that will take you places. And the next one is looking at blue collar instead of just white collar. People refer to blue collar as jua kali. We have been conditioned to think that jua kali is inferior and office work is superior. We've been conditioned to think that things that you do with your pen and paper or computer are better than those that you do with your hands. That people who are tailoring and making things with a sewing machine are inferior. We've been told that people who are in a workshop somewhere dealing with timber, joining joints and making furniture, we look at them as if they're the inferior people in the community. But we live in a time that those people have more money than those people who work in the offices. We're living in a time when your mechanic makes more money than the amount that you make in the office. So alternative skill would also include now getting to learn a skill that uses your hands, getting to learn a skill that you not only use your pen and paper, but you also use your brain with your hands, with your legs, your creative function of your brain, etc. And the last way to seek alternative skill is by problem solving. People say lightly that if you want to make money, just look for a problem and solve it. And even in an advanced conversation, some people say that if there's no problem, then create one and offer a solution to it. A good example We have antiviruses in our computers. We have to buy the antivirus because we are afraid that the computer might be affected by a virus. But it's the same people who create the antiviruses that create the viruses. They create the problem so that they can create the solution and sell it to us. I'm not saying that we should create problems, but we can also point out problems that people don't know that are existing, and then offer solutions to those problems. Let us leave the textbook mentality. Let us leave the study, do an exam, pass, get a job kind of mentality, and start thinking on how to get alternative skills. As always, this is UFALME WETU, and this was the second of our foundation, getting alternative skills. The first of our foundations was redistributing resources across the pyramid, not upwards. See you in the next one.
Sisi wenyenchi ndio wenye ufalme, tutafute ujuzi, tuzalishe mali, tukuze kila, chama, kuwa, benki, tuzidishe mapato kwa jamii zetu. Ufalme wetu, ufalme wetu, ufalme wetu. Your catalyst for development.